Welcome to episode of Potion Sword Run. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Avowed. After I finished it, I'm going to tell you what I like about it and all the stuff that I hate about it. First of all, I don't really hate too much about it. There's only a couple of things I wish it would do different, but I mean, that's just my preference. One of the things is when it comes to legendary items. Now, when it comes to, upgrading your items, you only get to use your peak legendary items towards the end of the game. And all that time you use to upgrade your item, and it just kind of not goes to waste because obviously you use it throughout the game. But I wish that I could be top notch badass for more portion of the game, maybe halfway all the way through. But it wasn't to the end where I can get all the items upgraded to where I want it to be, legendary. That's the only gripe I have with it. I want to be badass and go with my legendary items and go clear out places and just feel like a god. And that's one thing that, even though the combat and everything was awesome and I felt like a god, I wish I can just be top tier longer. But besides that, this game was awesome. It was exactly what I needed, the RPG that I needed. It wasn't overly complicated, and that's what I liked about it. Avowed didn't waste my time. One of the things I liked about it, I already talked about it before in this channel, is the mechanics, especially the lock picking. You don't have to actually do a mini game to lock pick. You have to have the right number of lock picks in order to open whatever chest you're trying to open. So it's very important that you buy these locks. And you can buy them from every merchant out there. They'll usually have one or two. You can pick some up from people that you slay. You can't really find them out in the open too much. So buy them and just stock them up. And every time you come across a chest, you have no problem. I mean, all you do is hold down the button and the chest opens. One of the games that I recently stopped playing was Kingdom Come Deliverance. I mean, I like the mechanics. I like how everything is so intricate in that game. But one of the things that I did not like was the lock picking when it comes to chests. It was some kind of marble type of mini game. And even though I read the instructions and I understood them, it just wasn't working with me when it came to my first experience doing these lock picks. That first experience kind of ruined it for me. These game developers have to realize, I understand they want to make these games very detailed and, and realistic to a certain degree. But you also got to remember that these games are supposed to be fun. And lockpicking, doing that kind of mechanics or little mini games breaks up the fun. At least it does for me. And it was evident by Avowed because I still felt rewarded by opening this chest because I had the right number of lockpicks. But I was also able to continue on with my journey, continue the action. And that's what Avowed does brilliantly. It doesn't waste your time with stuff that you shouldn't be doing. So a lot of people like to compare it to Oblivion or Skyrim because you can pick up every item. But then what ends up happening is you start picking up items for no reason. And doing that really has nothing to do with the game. That's extra. And sometimes people just want to play the game. They don't want to do the extra nitty gritty stuff. They don't want to live in the world. Because sometimes you get distracted and you don't finish the game. And then people complain that you can't kill the animals in it. Well, you can kill some animals with little lemon type of things. You can. I did it. But they want wildlife throughout the whole game that you can kill. But it won't stop there. After that, they want you to be able to skin them. And then they're going to want the animation to be different for each different animal. So then content can creep up and cost more. And it's stuff that doesn't really affect the game. So instead of comparing Avowed to every other game out there, I just played it for what it was. And it was satisfying. The combat, top notch. I think the wand work in Avowed is better than the wand work in Harry Potter. Together with the spell book, I mean, it was just awesome fighting. In fact, I went to go seek out fights in this game. I wasn't avoiding them like in other RPGs. I wanted to get the experience. I wanted to just battle. Because this game makes you feel like a badass when you're battling right. One of the things that I like to do was actually freeze enemies and then actually destroy them and then watch them combust. Just fall into pieces.
Hey, who's there? I killed him. Take the bullet.
And the thing is, just many combinations of fighting that you can do. I didn't even touch the guns really. I didn't really even touch the weapons like the mace or the spears. I did the spear for a little bit, the sword for a little bit. I was mostly wielding wands and different type of books with spells because I mean, it felt so good to be a wizard, and that's where I put most of my points. There's still a lot of different areas where you can put your skill points, so you can pretty much have a different build each time you play. Another thing that I really liked about it was that when you went to an area and actually killed the enemies, they would disappear. It made you feel like you actually completed that area. Like, I don't like it when you go back, like in Borderlands, you know, when I went to an area and I go and I clear it out, and then like 5 minutes later it's full again. It felt like all that stuff was for nothing. Now I understand like Borderlands is a looter shooter and you're supposed to keep on redoing the same thing over to get different gear, but that's a waste of time, at least for me. I don't like refighting the same enemies, refighting the same monsters just to get different loot. Like, I want it to be specifically tailored. Like, if you go to this place, you're gonna get this loot, and once it's cleared, it's cleared. Now, it would be cool for people who want to keep on fighting, for you to have the option to repopulate, I guess, that section, but only because you want to keep on fighting, you know. And that way you can kind of just farm XP so you can be more powerful as you go on. That's one thing they can do, but I really do like that they clear out the area because it makes you feel like you pretty much are done with it. And if you explored and found all the treasures and stuff, then you are done with it, and there really is no need to go back. And that's what I really like about it. But I mean, this game is so dense, you know. We always say how we don't like big old open worlds with nothing to do, nothing to find. But this game is like there's always something around the corner. Like there's a hidden chest, there's maybe a treasure, there's like something, you know, enemies or a camp or bounties. You're always looking around as you go by because you see like a little ledge, like, oh, I can go there. And sure enough, most of the time you can, and most of the time there's something back there. So it makes you feel like you're being rewarded just for exploration and for combat. And the stuff you find in the chest is stuff that you're going to use to upgrade your weapons. You break them down, you upgrade them, you craft, or you just find special weapons to begin with. And one thing that I really liked in this game was the devs messing with the gamers, you know, setting up traps. And, you know, it's up to you to either fall for them or don't fall for them. For example,
left one open. The sign. All right, Capo. Good one.
see, I like these little things where it kind of breaks the fourth wall, but not really. Like, it tried to fool me here, telling me to pick the right one. And, you know, it's telling me, pick the right one. And most of gamers would have picked the right one. But me being a rebel, you know, I picked the left one and it turned out to be the right choice. But I like little things like that where they put in the game.
You're one of those people who takes requests, not orders, aren't you?
Now the story, I actually like the story. You know, you're trying to save this living land from this plague, and then you end up finding out where the plague comes from. And you do have choices that I think affect what the outcome is, because I could have slain a few different characters throughout my game, but I didn't. Turns out one person that I saved previously ended up helping me not fight in the end with somebody else. So it's like little choices that you make do kind of affect your story in a way. Now I don't know if the ending is just gonna be the ending no matter what, because it seemed like I had a choice to either end it a certain way. I haven't spoiled the other endings yet because you know, I might want to go back and just see if I can do a different choice. What would end up happening? It turns out that my intelligence wasn't high enough by one point so that I couldn't fight somebody that I was destined to fight. So I ended up fighting them like the game, wanted you to. But without that one point, I could have not fought them, and the story would have been a little bit different. So I still want to see that. I had to reset a little bit of my experience points. It only cost like 25 coin, 25,000 coin, 2,500 coin, which is not a lot. And I'm gonna give myself one more intelligent point from somewhere else, just so I can see what the different story is if I don't fight this individual. But you have the choice to fight people throughout the game, and I chose not to fight a few. I chose to fight a few. And you know, the story, I ended up seeing those characters later on in the story, so it does affect your choices. It's up to you if you like the type of writing. I mean, I think the writing was good. You explore your companions, you know, backstory a little bit. I don't really care about that too much. I kind of just wanted to pass the game, see how it ends, and see how the story unfolds. That's mostly what I kind of wanted to focus more on the game. That and the game mechanics, like the combat exploration and stuff. But I really don't have too many complaints about it. I mean, I really enjoyed my time. I ended up finishing everything. I did most of the missions. I mean, and like in the last, there's like there's 5 different areas that you can explore, different lands, and the only one that I didn't explore fully, or like almost fully, was the last one, just because, you know, I wanted to end the story. I played the game for like 40 hours. I was pretty much done with it. But I did most of the bounties, you know, in every area. You get 5 bounties per area, so it's like 25 bounties. I didn't look for all the treasures from the treasure maps that you find. It's kind of hard to distinguish where that area is. Like, I mean, you see, you know, clues and stuff, but I mean, the maps are kind of big that you really gotta, you know, get down to the nitty gritty and actually like look around for a good amount of time to find these areas. So I haven't done that, and there might be a couple of missions that I missed, and that I couldn't do anymore because I already progressed with the story. But other than that, I pretty much did everything that I wanted to do with the game. I have no complaints. Like I said, I'm still gonna go back to get a different ending, but I mean, man, if you get to play this game, get it on sale if you don't want to pay $70 for it, because, you know, $70 is a lot of money for a lot of games. You know, these games are getting too expensive, and I can understand that some people don't want to pay $70 for an RPG that is more friendly to the consumer. You know, they want something that's gonna, you know, take their time. Like, for example, Kingdom Come Deliverance, where you can spend hours trying to freaking lockpick one damn chest. You know, this game's not gonna do that. This game is gonna pretty much, if you play for an hour, you're gonna get a lot done in this game. You know, so you can probably finish it in 20 hours if you stick to the main missions, a few side missions. You know, but the thing about it is the combat and exploration is so good that you're gonna want to keep on exploring the world and, you know, do all the side missions and stuff as well. Now, if there is DLC or a sequel, I definitely will be playing it. The world is interesting enough. The, you know, game mechanics was great. Supposedly, the rumor is that it did play well. Supposedly, like about 6 million people played it, you know, with Game Pass, and people who actually bought it. So who knows? It looks like the future might be bright for Avowed. Especially now that they already have it all built out and everything. It wouldn't cost them too much to release some DLC or a sequel. Especially how the Outer Worlds 2 is coming out. It's going to be very similar to the first one because the first one's already built out. You know, he's got to build new areas and stuff, and it'd be less expensive than starting from scratch. So, and especially the way that Obsidian is just like releasing games after game after game. Avowed, they released Grounded, they released The Outer World, they released Pendament. I mean, they're releasing games like freaking Sucker Punch. You know, there's bangers after bangers. You know, them alone are holding up Xbox. Anyways, I'm rambling now. I really do recommend the game. I don't give games a score because, you know, games are, you know, reviews are subjective. You kind of know if you're gonna like this game. Just, you know, trust yourself. I did, and I had a blast with Avowed. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.